The Bears training camp has officially kicked off with the veterans reporting on Tuesday, July 22nd, and the anticipation around the team is palpable as everyone looks forward to what this preseason will reveal. One of the most critical storylines to watch is the dynamic between Caleb Williams, the quarterback, and Ben Johnson, who is stepping into the dual role of head coach and offensive coordinator. This relationship is absolutely pivotal because the chemistry between the quarterback and the coach-caller will set the tone for the entire offense. The big question is how quickly and smoothly will they gel? Will it be a rocky start with gradual improvements over several weeks, or will they hit their stride more rapidly? Regardless of the timeline, the hope is that by the end of training camp, Caleb's development will be unmistakable, giving fans and the coaching staff real confidence heading into the regular season. In the early practices, it's normal to expect some inconsistencies, maybe even a bit of jumpiness as the new system gets ironed out. It's a transition period where you can't read too much into the first few days or week and a half of camp, but progress has to be evident as the days pass. Caleb Williams is at the center of this whole process, and his growth is unquestionably the top priority throughout these next several weeks. The offense's success, and really the team's success, hinges on how well he adapts, learns, and ultimately flourishes within Ben Johnson's scheme. The spotlight will be on his ability to internalize the playbook, build trust with his receivers, and sharpen his decision-making under pressure. One of the areas fans and analysts are particularly focused on is Caleb's release time. How quickly he can get the ball out after the snap. With a stronger offensive line this year, he should have more time in the pocket, which naturally helps any quarterback get the ball out quicker. Still, it's important to remember Caleb isn't the type of quarterback who leads the league in fastest release times. That's never been his style, nor was it Joe Burrow's for that matter. Both are known for holding onto the ball a bit longer to let plays develop. But there's a balance to strike here. Caleb has to learn to identify when to speed up and get the ball out on certain plays, especially in situations where hesitation could lead to sacks or pressure that disrupts the offense. Another key aspect for Caleb to improve is his accuracy on deep passes. Last season, his deep ball was all over the place, sometimes hitting the mark perfectly, other times missing wildly. This inconsistency stemmed from a mix of timing issues with his receivers, footwork that needed fine-tuning, and just plain bad throws. It's unrealistic to expect Caleb to suddenly transform into one of the best deep ball passers in the league overnight, but incremental improvements here could have a huge impact. Even more important than outright perfect throws is giving the receivers a chance to make plays. It might sound counterintuitive, but underthrowing a deep ball can often be better than overthrowing it. Take a player like Romeo Doubs, who has an incredible contested catch rate. If Caleb can put the ball in a spot where Doubs can make a contested catch, the offense can generate those explosive plays that are so vital in today's NFL. Ben Johnson has made it clear that this offense will lean into both efficiency and aggression. That means Caleb is encouraged to take more risks, try to fit the ball into tighter windows, and generally be more aggressive downfield. The downside of this approach is a potential increase in turnovers. But Johnson pointed out something very interesting. In certain situations, a turnover can actually be less damaging than a sack. A sack often kills a drive outright, pushing the offense backward and killing momentum. Meanwhile, taking calculated risks and throwing into tight windows can create big plays that shift games. The goal is to generate explosive plays on offense, and sometimes that means accepting a higher risk of turnovers if the reward is a chance to break a long play. There's a lot to unpack when it comes to Caleb Williams' development, and it's clear he has several tangible areas to work on, but also some intangible qualities that will be just as important. Decision-making, confidence, leadership, and resilience under pressure will all factor into how well he navigates this critical phase of his career. So, what part of Caleb's game are you most interested in seeing improve? Is it his release time, his deep ball accuracy, or maybe his ability to take smart risks without turning the ball over? Or do you think there's something less obvious that we should be paying attention to, like his pocket presence, his pre-snap reads, or his communication with the coaching staff? Those are all key components that will contribute to his growth. This training camp. Moving beyond the quarterback, the left tackle competition on the Bears' offensive line is another major storyline this preseason. There are a lot of battles happening across the roster, like who will be the third linebacker, the third wide receiver, and the second outside cornerback. But none are as critical as who will protect Caleb's blind side. The offensive line is mostly set from left guard through right tackle with Joe Thuney, Drew Dowman, Jonah Jackson, and Darnell Wright firmly in place. Jonah Jackson had a bit of a rocky season last year, but there's optimism about his reunion. With Ben Johnson, still, the left tackle spot remains up for grabs, and that's a big deal. The contenders for that job include Braxton Jones, Ozzy Aguayo-Trapillo, and Cronaghy. Depending on when you're watching this, there might be more clarity around Braxton Jones' injury status. He recently had ankle surgery, and there's some uncertainty about whether he'll start camp on the physically unable to perform list or be ready to go. Regardless of his status, the competition is wide open. The Bears know who their other starters on the line will be barring injury, or some wild position shuffle, which seems very unlikely. But the left tackle spot is a true question mark, and how that battle shakes out could have a significant impact on the offense's performance this year. When you look at the bigger picture of roster needs, there are a few areas that might require reinforcements as camp progresses. Edge rusher and running back stand out as the key positions that could use upgrades or additional contributors. Beyond those, there are questions about depth at safety and linebacker. While the starters and backups look solid on paper, there's always a degree of uncertainty that comes with injuries and player performance during camp. The interior offensive line backups are another spot to watch closely. Ryan Bates, if healthy, could be a dependable backup capable of playing both center and guard. But his health is a question mark right now. Luke Godick, a 6th-round pick who has worked on center during the offseason, could also be called upon as a primary backup, which would be a big step for a young player. The Bears might even consider adding a veteran guard if the opportunity rises. Injuries or underperformance could open the door for a depth signing. Players like Brandon Sheriff, who could be available for a modest salary, might fill that role. If the left tackle competition turns into a battle between Braxton Jones and Ozzy Trapillo, there's also a chance that Cronaghy could get some reps at guard, which would be an interesting development to follow. The key point is that edge rusher and running back are the positions where the Bears are most likely to add impactful players. You can argue that those roles require contributors who can make a real difference on the field, while backup spots on the interior line or linebacker cores are more about depth and insurance. Edge rusher additions would need to complement the current group, which features players like Monty Sweat, Austin Booker, Dominique Robinson, and Dio Dango. While Monty Sweat is a strong presence, the Bears could certainly benefit from someone better than the other backups to push the group's overall quality. Running back is another area where the team might want to bring in a player who can either complement or challenge Donta Foreman-Swift. Names like Kenneth Walker or James Cook have been floated as potential fits who could step in and compete for carries. Depth is always important at running back, but having a player who can genuinely push the starter or even take over in certain packages is a huge asset. In terms of injuries, the biggest concerns heading into camp are the statuses of Braxton Jones and Culliston Loveland. Both rookies reported recently, but updates on their shoulder and ankle surgeries have been sparse. Loveland's shoulder status, in particular, remains unclear as he hasn't been spotted practicing yet. The first full practice for the veterans and rookies was scheduled for Wednesday following their report dates, so more news may come out as camp progresses. Jalen Johnson is on the non-football injury list, but the sense is that his situation isn't severe. Still, the health of these key players will be closely monitored because they could all potentially start or contribute significantly this season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are turning into roars in the Windy City as a bombshell report circulates that superstar wide receiver Davante Adams may have signed with the Chicago Bears. While the franchise has yet to confirm the news officially, sources close to the situation suggest a blockbuster agreement is already in place, sending shockwaves through the NFL world and igniting a firestorm of excitement among Bears fans. Adams, known for his precise route running and elite hands, has long been considered one of the top wideouts in the league. With 5 Pro Bowl appearances and multiple 1,000-yard seasons under his belt, his potential arrival in Chicago could mark a seismic shift in the NFC North landscape. Pairing Adams with the Bears' rising quarterback and under a coaching staff hungry for a deep playoff run would instantly elevate the franchise's offensive ceiling. Though neither Adams nor the Bears have publicly addressed the reports, the NFL rumor mill is working overtime. Some insiders claim Adams was spotted in downtown Chicago earlier this week, while others point to cryptic social media posts from Bears players hinting at a major addition. The silence from both camps only fuels speculation that something big is brewing behind the scenes. If confirmed, this move could not only bolster Chicago's playoff hopes but also reshape their identity as a serious contender. It's been years since the Bears had a receiver of Adams' caliber, a true game changer who can shift momentum with a single catch. Whether this is smoke without fire or the start of a new era at Soldier Field, one thing is clear: Chicago is buzzing, and the NFL is watching closely. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.